Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Katsina State Senior Secondary School's online connect, powered by exponential computers. Physics lesson to the SS3 students, week 7. That is the seventh week of the lesson. So, also the presenter Ismail Baraya. So, for the week 7 contents are to define the term current electricity and also to explain the primary and secondary cells, and also we are to describe the nature of primary cells, their defect and remedials, and also we are to talk about the Daniel cell and the Lachlan's cell, that is the dry and the wet cells, and also we are to talk about the nature of secondary cells, and lastly we are to explain the lead acid accumulator. So for the first content, that is the term current electricity. So many inventions and the discoveries have been made already, because there is many discoveries with some of the scientists, some of the physicists, they already do some discoveries. So and now we are trying to talk about the discovery of electricity, how the electricity come to be discovered, so that we can do our day-to-day activities. So the discovery of current electricity is such a discovery that we are highly dependent on to make our life easier. So without electricity, I don't think the technology that we have now will have come to this extent. So it is all that kind of development that we have. It is due to the discovery of the electricity. So also one of our best physicists, that is the Benjamin Franklin. So he is the one that discovered the term electricity. He is the one that discovered the electricity, and also he was credited with the discovery of electricity. That is the Benjamin Franklin. So and here we are to define the term the electricity. So when we say what is current electricity, so current electricity is defined as the flow of electrons from one section of the circuit to another. So you see, it is a transparent and or a movement of the electron or electric energy. So it is due to the movement of electric energy or electrons from one section to another in a circuit. So that is the one that they form the electricity, the electrons moving in a circle in a positive particle and also the negative particle. So it is due to that movement or that flow of electrons. So the electricity or the current it was due to that movement or flow of electrons. So it is due to the flow of electron, electricity come to be. So current electricity is defined as the flow of electrons from one section of the electric circuit to another. So it is due to that movement or flow of electrons the electricity come to be. That is the electrons. That is the negative particle and the on the positive charge particle. So it is due to this charge particle, due to the current, following of the current, how the current used to follow. So it is the one that form or that define the term electricity. So this is about the term current electricity. So here we are to talk about the primary cell. So normally when we say cell, we are talking about the mechanical energy that used to transfer it or to turn into electrical energy. So cell are the chemical energies that used to combine into or used to turn into electrical energy to give electricity or to give light or something like that. So it is due to cell. So normally we have a primary cell and a secondary cell. So here we are talking about the primary cell. So a primary cell normally are those cells which they are non-rechargeable. So they are non-rechargeable, and when we say something non-rechargeable, that we mean it cannot be recharged. You cannot recharge it again. So primary cells, once the cells give all its energy, the chemicals cannot reach up again, or cannot rise up again. So you see, primary cells are those cells, or are those chemicals that they have an energy. So, and if that energy is used, you already use that energy, that means that they already die, they will never rise again. So whenever we have that kind of situation, that means that those cells are primary, because they cannot rise up again, and they are non rechargeable, they cannot be rechargeable, they already finished, or they already finished. So the primary cells are non-rechargeable normally. So this, as simple as they are non-rechargeable. Whenever they have finished the using, they already finished their using, they will be wasted after they finish, they cannot rise up, or they cannot be recharged again. So this is about, and here on this diagram you will see that it is a primary cell. So normally there are batteries that we are using, like maybe so, like in a torchlight or in a remote or something like that. Those small batteries, that is the primary cells. That is because the chemicals in them, they have energy, they have full charge energy. But whenever that energy is used, so they will not be used again, because they already extend, or they already use all of their energy, they cannot rise up again. So they are non-rechargeable. And the example of the primary cells that we have is the zinc carbon cells. So anything under zinc carbon cells, but they are non-rechargeable, they cannot be non-rechargeable. So any cell that you know that, if that cell is non-rechargeable, that means that that cell is primary cell. So this is about primary cell. Whenever we are talking about primary cell, we are talking about those cells that cannot be recharged again. So this is about primary cells. So the other cell, the other types of those cells, because we have the two types, the primary and the secondary cells. So the secondary cells here, and if you just even understand the primary cell, you will just easily understand the secondary cell, because the other one is talking about non-rechargeable. Then if that other one is non-rechargeable, then this one can be rechargeable. So the secondary cells are the rechargeable ones. So that means that if they use up their energy, they can rise up again. So secondary cells rechargeable. Once the cells give all its energy, the chemical reaction that cause it to lose energy can be revised by a charger. So you see, this one, they can be recharged, they can rise up again after the chemical energy has already been finished, or has already been used. But they can be revised by what? By a charger. That means that giving it more energy to use in a cycle. So you see, the secondary cells, they have their own chemical reaction or chemical substances. So but after you use those energy, after you use maybe that power, you can recharge it again by a charger. You can recharge that cells again, because they can rise up again and continue working or something like that. So you see, the secondary cells are those cells that they can be rechargeable again. So this is about the secondary cells. If you look at it down here, we have a diagram of the secondary cells. So this is a battery, and it is a secondary cell. Why is it a secondary cell? Because it can be rechargeable. So, and also the example of secondary cells, like a car battery. So you see, the car that you know. So battery, the one that car is using, it is called a secondary cell. Why? Because it is rechargeable. But the other one that they cannot be rechargeable, they already finished. Whenever they use their energy, they already be finished, the energy will exceed. So but the secondary cells, they can be recharged again. So this is about those cells, that is the primary cell and the secondary cell. So this is about cells. So here we are going to talk about the defect and the remedial of those cells that we have finished talking about. And when we say defect, like we are trying to say that like a fault, or a problem due to that cells. So the only defect or fault of those cells that we have talked about is only two, that is the local action and the polarization. So this one are the defect of cells. Any of those cells, whether the primary or the secondary, they can be having this kind of defect, or they can be having this kind of fault. That is the local action and the polarization. So those cells, they can have this kind of defect. And also the remedial, like it is the way of preventing that defect or that fault. So here we are to talk about the prevention of those defect or of those cells. So whenever we have this kind of defect, there's a way for us to follow so that we can be able to maintain those cells so that they can keep using. So the one the number one problem due to that defect of that cell is also the remedial of it, that is the prevention or a way of keeping that defect for it to occur. So the local action, for us to prevent the local action, that means that we may be by using like a few zinc. The local action may be minimized by using a pure zinc, the normal zinc that you can use it to avoid or to minimize the local action. But zinc is in it is pure state by, and normally zincs are is very expensive, is expensive in price. So you can use a cheaper option, that is the zinc electro code with mercury. So that one, it can be used to prevent the local action of the defect of a cell. So normally, if you cannot use a zinc, the normal pure zinc, then you can use it with the zinc electrocode with the mercury. So you can use that one and prevent the local action of your cell. So that is for the prevention of the local cell. Also for the prevention of the polarization, it can be prevented by the like a brushing, normal the normal like a washing. For you can prevent that polarization due to washing of the flesh. So you can use them and brush it or something like that. You can brush those cells, those plates, by either the brushing of those plates. So you can brush it so that you can prevent it from the polarization, or by using the depolarizer. Also it is also one of the way of preventing the defect of your cells, by using a depolarizer, that is an oxidizing agent, and which is normally it is common that it is commonly used in manganese dioxide. So normally that oxidizing agent is the manganese dioxide, and thus that oxide hydrogen to form water, and it also used to prevent the polarization, and by removing the hydrogen bubbles. So by for you to remove that bubbles, you can use the manganese dioxide. Also it is also one of the ways or the remedial of cell for you to prevent it from defect. So this is about the defect and the remedial of cells. So here we are going to talk about the Daniel cell. So also this Daniel it is a cell. So when we are saying a Daniel cell, also it is a dry, and when we say like something is dry, I mean like it is not somehow liquid, it is already like dried. So a Daniel cell is a primary cell. That means that this Daniel cell, it is a primary cell, it is not a secondary cell, which cannot supply steady current for a long time. So you see, a Daniel cell, it cannot give like electricity or power or energy. It cannot give that energy for a long time. So you see, it will dry. That is why it is called a dry. So you see, a Daniel cell, or also it is called a dry cell. So you see, it will dry. It will not take a longer time for it to give that energy or that power or that current. So all that all that electricity. So it will not be long. So also it consists of a copper vessel. Also this copper vessel contain a strong solution of copper sulfate. So you see that copper copper vessel, it contains a sulfate. So that sulfate is a substance. So you see, and also a zinc rod is deep in a dilute sulfuric acid. So you see that zinc, it is diluted in sulfuric acid, as you are see in this diagram. So you see that we have we have a para spot, that is the where you put that is why you put the sulfuric acid. So the para spot is placed inside the copper sulfuric solution. So you see that is where we put the solution there. If you look at it there in the diagram, you will see that we have a zinc rod. So that is the first labeling, the one like like the one in a vertical, as you are seeing the one in the vertical, that is the zinc rod. And also we have the dilute, the chemical substance, that is the H2SO4. So it is there as you are seeing here. And also we have a paras part. So it is here also. That is where we put, we put inside the sulfuric solution, or the acid. It is there inside the paras part. And also we have a CuSO4 solution. Also that substance, it is there in that dry cell, or that Daniel cell. And the whole thing, we call it the copper vessel, the one. And if you look at it, the diagram on the right hand side, you will see that it is you can see that, you can see it clearly. But here on the left hand side, it is like the how it is inside. That is the labeling, all the substances, all the solutions, all the ones that are inside the dry cell. So this is about the dry cell. So whenever we are talking about the dry cell, that means that cell, they will not give enough power for a long time, or they will not give electricity for a long time, or current, or something like that, or that energy, it will dry. So that is why it is called a Daniel cell, or a dry cell. So this is about the Daniel cell. So the other one is the Lackland cell. So the Lackland cell, it is also called a wet cell. So normally when we say like something wet, then we mean like it is somehow there is some water inside on it. So a Lackland cell consists of a carbon electrode. So you see this one, it contains a carbon electrode. So fact in a paras part. So also this one, it is also in a paras part, containing a manganese dioxide, and also a charcoal powder. So this is the one, this is the chemical substances containing in a wet cell. And also this paras part is inside, it is inside the zinc, the zinc rod. That is why we put the solution, or the saturated solution of those ammonium chloride. So that is where we put the electrolyte inside the container, or inside the wet cell, or a outer glass vessel. So, and if you look at it here, this is the like the labeling of the wet cell, or the Lackland cell. So, and also, just like the dry one, just like the other one, we also, this one also have a carbon rod. And it is also a mixture of the chemical, of the substances, and also the powders, the paras part, also the zinc. So the glass vessel is also, so they are here. So this is the labeling. And the diagram here, the diagram on the right hand side, that is the how the Lackland cell look like, or the wet cell. So this is about the dry cell and the wet cell, or the Daniel cell, or the Lackland cell. So here we are to talk about the nature of secondary cell. So also, even before we even talk about the secondary cell, That is the one that it is rechargeable. It can be rechargeable. So this is the nature of it, and also the labeling and the diagram of it. So as you are seeing here, also we have the terminal, those two terminals. That is the positive terminal and also the negative terminal. It is there as you are seeing here in the diagram. So and also the divider here, the divider also, it divides the terminals. That is the positive electrode and the negative electrode. So also we have a dilute H2SO4. The substance is there, and this nature of the secondary cell that we as you are seeing up top there, there's an opening and an opening where you can do the recharging of it whenever the chemical reaction or the chemical substances have already been used. You already use it, and you want to use it again, then you can use a charger, and that charger is a device used for charging the secondary cell. It is there, so it is not on our content. That's why we're not talking about it. But normally, whenever the dry cell or like the dry cell, it is already used her own energy, so you can recharge it again, because it is called a battery charger. That is the name of it. It called battery charger. You can use it and charge it again, just like a car battery also. If even even a car battery, like maybe there's a time that power or that current of that car battery will be low. You cannot start your own car. The car will not start. So that battery needs like an additional, or need more power for it to even start. So you will see that you will take the battery and go and recharge it again. So whenever you recharge that battery again and come and put it into your car and on it again, and you will see that car will start going and will start moving. So you see, it is due to the rechargeable of it. You recharge it again after you already finish the use of it, then you can recharge it again. So that is why it is a secondary. Also the primary, they are not rechargeable ones. They cannot be recharged, or they cannot be used again. So I think this is this is about the nature of the dry cell. So here we are going to talk about the lead acid accumulator. So also lead acid accumulator also, it is like a battery, the normal battery, but this battery, and it is one of the best one, the one that like it is already first been invented. So the lead acid battery is one of the oldest types of rechargeable batteries. That means that this, and if you say it is a type of rechargeable battery, that means that it is under these two cell, whether the primary or the secondary. And if it is rechargeable, that means that this cell or this battery is under a secondary. So those batteries were invented in the year 18 1859. So you see, this is the oldest years. So it is 1859. This is the year where this battery is invented, and it's invented by the French physicist, that is the Gaston Flant. So he is also one of the scientists that invent battery. So he's the one that invent the lead acid accumulator. So he's the one that invented. He's the one that like who created or something like that. So also this battery it is a dry. It can be classified under a secondary cell, because it can be rechargeable again. You can use it again after you finish the use of it. So as you are seeing here, just like the other one, it has terminal. That is the red, as you are seeing here in this diagram. We have a red portion there, that is the positive terminal. Also the black side you are seeing here, that is the negative terminal. And as you are seeing there, like it is an opening. So the other one we just finished talking about, it is about recharging, but this one, it is about an acid. You are putting, the acid you put inside it. So that means that it's used to be rechargeable, but not recharging by electricity, but recharging by acid. So this lead acid accumulator is used to put when the energy of it is finished, or you use it, then you use acid and put it again for it to use, for it to be used again, for it to be revised or rise again, for it to be in a perfect function. So this liquid acid battery, it is also one of the oldest types of battery that we have in the world, and it was invented by the Guston plant. So he is the scientist that discovered or that invent this lead acid accumulator. So also this one is under the secondary, is under the secondary cell. It is not a primary. Why? Because it can be rechargeable again. It can be rechargeable again, but by using the acid, by using the lead acid, by using the lead acid. And so this is about the lead acid accumulator. So I think this is the end of the week 7 class to the SS3 students. So I wish you best of luck.